This is the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. I am Manoj Mainkar, and in the next half hour, I'll bring to you news updates from India and around the world, awareness videos on coronavirus by Government of India, and a lot more. We'll begin with the news updates.
This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. Namaskar. The news snippets. Read by Maria Albina Michael. 700,087 people have recovered from COVID-19 in India. In the past 24 hours, 22,663 people recovered. Delhi and Mumbai and Chennai lead the country in recoveries. Each metro has more than 1 lakh recovered patients. 256,039 tests for COVID-19 were conducted in the last 24 hours. Tamil Nadu is conducting more than 48,000 tests per day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to the Chief Ministers of Assam and Bihar on the flood situation in the two states. He assured all support to both the states. 81 people have died due to the floods in Assam, according to Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal. The Prime Minister also spoke to the Chief Ministers of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand to assess the COVID-19 situation in these states. Prime Minister assured all help from the centre to these states. A 3-member centre team held discussions with officials of Bihar. The eastern has seen a surge in COVID-19 cases recently. Bihar is under complete lockdown till 31st July. The foundation-laying ceremony of the Sri Ram Temple of Ayodhya will be held on 5th August. The temple would have 5 domes, and the height of the temple is expected to be increased to 161 feet. It would be on the Vishnu temple design. 7 Indian pharma companies are in the fray for developing a vaccine against coronavirus. Human trials of 2 vaccine candidates have already begun in the country. King Salman of Saudi Arabia has been admitted to hospital for medical checkup after he complained of pain and inflammation. The European Union leaders are engaged in talks to negotiate a deal to roll out an economic package for the group. However, differences have cropped up between some members, leading to wrangling. The UAE has launched its Mars-bound Al-Amal Hope probe satellite mission on Sunday from Japan's Tanegashima Space Center. It is the Arab world's first interplanetary mission. It is expected to reach Mars by February 2021. And that is the end of the news snippets. is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. We now bring you a special film-based program from our archives.
The passing away of Manna De, the legendary singer in Bengaluru on October 24, 2013 caused a three-pronged impact on music lovers in general and his admirers in particular. First, his demise evoked sadness and commiseration despite his having attained the ripe old age of 94 years. Secondly, it unleashed nostalgia, which among other things was reminiscent of the irony that the exceptional talent of this non-self-pushing artist was at a few times utilized rather frivolously and on other occasions neither fully nor more handsomely. Thirdly, it produced the realization that with his departure, the fount of the Indian rag-based light classical music for our films virtually dried up. A quick recap of his life and selected works may be attempted. Manna De, whose original name was Prabodh Chandra De, was born in Kolkata on the 1st of May 1919. After graduating from the Calcutta University, he joined his paternal uncle Krishna Chandra De, the well-known visually impaired singer, actor and music director at the New Theatres, as his apprentice. It was this same uncle who gave him the nickname or pet name Manna, which became his regular lifetime name thereafter. Possibly the uncle so renamed him as he wished to have his nephew's songs the quality of manna or ambrosia, which some of Manna De's consummately rendered mellifluous songs seemingly did dispense in the due course for his ardently keen listeners and admirers. Although in his childhood, Manna was at first interested in wrestling and football, he ultimately opted for music, for which he nurtured a strong passion. As a college student, he participated in many singing competitions and garnered several prizes for his impressive performances. For some time, he also sang from the Kolkata station of All India Radio. Krishna Chandra De appeared on the screen in the garb of an itinerant minstrel singing philosophical songs like Baba Man Ki Aankhein Khol and Teri Gathdi Mein Laga Chor Musafir Jag Zara, both in Dhoop Chhaon 1935 and Matbol Musafir Tujhe Jana Hi Hoga Devdas 1935. Manna used to join his uncle when the latter sang these popular songs on the stage in various cities of the then pan-undivided India. Apart from his own tutelage, the uncle made his nephew learn classical vocal music, initially at Kolkata from Ustad Dabir Khan, and later they migrated to Mumbai. Manna also learned from the Ustads Aman Ali Khan and Abdul Rahim Khan Sahab. The break for Manna as a playback singer came when he sang Gai Tu Gai Sita Sati in Ram Raj 1943 under the baton of Shankar Rao Vyas. Almost at the same time, he also rendered the duet Jago Ai Usha Panchi Bole with the then budding singer Suraya in Tamanna, music for which was scored by K.C. De himself. The blooming of Manna's talent was however noticed when he assisted S.D. Burman for creating the musical score for Mashal 1951 and sang it mellifluously and with telling nuances the Pradeep penned songs Upar Gagan Vishal, Niche Gehra Patal, Malik Tune Kiya Kamal and Dunya Ke Logon Lo Himmat Se Kaam. The tonal quality of his voice and his singing prowess having been recognized, many successful filmmakers and music directors invited him to sing for them. For Raj Kapoor, under Shankar Jaikishan, he sang for Awara 1951, The Dream Sequence, and for Shri 420 1955, the timeless romantic duet Pyar Hua Ikrar Hua, Pyar Se Phir Kyun Darta Hai Dil, with Lata Mangeshkar, as well as Dil Ka Haal Sune Dilwala and Mud Mud Ke Na Dekh with Asha Bhosle. In Boot Polish 1954, he rendered a comic semi-classical number Lapak Jhapak Tu Aare Badarwa, and in Mera Naam Joker 1970, the philosophical number Aaye Bhai Zara Dekh Ke Chalo, which brought him the Filmfare Award for the Best Male Singer. He also sang along with Lata Aaja Sanam Madhur Chandni Mein Hum Tum, Ye Raat Bhigi Bhigi and Jahan Main Jati Hu Wahan Chale Aate Ho for Raj Kapoor and Nargiz in Chori Chori 1956. For Bimal Rai, under music director Sholil Chaudhary, he sang spiritedly Haryala Sawan Shor Machata Hai and Dharti Kahe Pukar Ke, a peasant song set to the Soviet Army's marching tune in Do Bigha Zameen 1953. Kya Hawa Chali in Parakh 1960 and the highly emotional patriotic song Ae Mere Pyare Watan, music for which was based on an Afghan tune suggested by lyricist Prem Dhawan in Kabuliwala 1961. In a Pashto tune he sang Yari Hai Iman Mera Yar Meri Zindagi in Zanjeer 1973 with music by Kalyanji Anandji and Ae Meri Zohra Jabin, a Baloch tune provided by composer Ravi for Waqt 1965. Among his other songs of the semi-classical genre were Zindagi Kaisi Hai Paheli in Anand 1970, music by Sholil Chaudhary, Tum Bin Jeevan and Bhor Aayi Gaya Aandhiara in Bawarchi 1972, music Madan Mohan, Kaun Aaya Mere Man Ke Dware Dekh Kabira Roya 1957, Madan Mohan, Piya Maine Kiya Kya Us Par 1974, music by Sachin Dev Burman, and Pucho Na Kaise Maine Rain Bitai Meri Surat Teri Aankhein 1963, again the music by Sachin Dev Burman. Incidentally, this song, which was Manna De's own top favorite, figured as one of the 20 best Hindi film songs ever in a list prepared by the weekly magazine Outlook in 2006 in consultation with experts to mark the platinum jubilee of the Indian talkies. There were also other scintillating numbers like Laga Chunari Mein Daag Chupaun Kaise, Dil Hi To Hai 1963, music by Roshan, Kasme Waade Pyar Wafa Upkar 1967, music by Kalyanji Anandji, Sur Na Saje and Bhay Bhanjana Basant Bahar 1957, Shankar Jaikishan were the music directors, and Sangeet Samrat Tansen 1962. The music in this film was given by S.N. Tripathi. The famous Qawwali Na To Karwan Ki Talash Hai Barsat Ki Raat 1960, the music by Roshan. And last but not the least, the hilarious Ek Chatur Nar, which is sang in a friendly competition with Kishore Kumar in Padosan 1968, the music by Rahul Dev Burman. Among other feathers in his cap was a song Ketaki Gulab Juhi, which is sang with the Bharat Ratna awardee Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, and for which the classical senior singer praised him. Ritu Aaye, Ritu Jaye was another special number for which Maestro Anil Vishwas used 4 rags and which Manna De and Lata sang for Hamdard 1953. Even the snippets and snatches of these astutely rendered songs establish Manna De's forte as a classical vocalist par excellence. In 2009, a documentary feature film in Bangla titled Jiboner Jalsha Ghore with the English subtitles on his life and work was released. As a further tribute to him, a concert titled Memories Come Alive was also organized in Bengaluru, where he stayed after giving up singing for films as well as in some other cities. He also released his autobiography. In 1953, he had married Sulochana Kumaran, a Keralite who passed away in 2012. He is survived by 2 daughters who also sing but have not followed their father's cinema-centric profession. Apart from the songs mentioned here, there are many more gems in Manna De's rich repertoire, including the rendering by him of Harivansh Rai Bachchan's poetical work Madhushala, music for which was scored by the composer Jaydev. For his versatility and inimitable style, he was hailed as the best trained singer of the Indian film industry and the king of melody for his contribution to Rabindra Sangeet and other forms of Bangla music. In a career of over 6 decades, Manna De sang around 3,500 songs of various genres in Hindi, Bangla and other Indian languages, including the fast dance number Aao Twist Kare for Bhoot Bangla 1965, the music by R.D. Burman. His last song was Duniya Walon Ko Kuch Khabar Nahi for Umar 2006. Although he rendered some songs for Raj Kapoor, his voice was seldom used for other heroes. Ironically, his talent was instead flippantly employed for some quirky and zany numbers for comedians Mehmood and Agha and some others. Manna De was honoured with the prestigious Dadasaheb Phalke Award in 2009. On that occasion, the then President of India, Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, commended him as a singer par excellence who had easily bridged the gap between the Hindustani and the popular music. Though the award had come to him late in his 91st year, he, with his characteristic modesty and unpretentiousness, brushed aside the impression created by the media that the bestowal was inordinately belated. He will be remembered for long as a gentleman special singer.
You were listening to a special film-based program from our archives. This program came to you from the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. You are with us on the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.
You are tuned to the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. We now bring you today's commentary. Prime Minister to UN Economic and Social Council, reformed multilateralism, only way forward. It is scripted by Ambassador Ashok Kumar Mukherjee, former permanent representative of India to the United Nations, and read by Kaushik Rai. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's online address to the high-level segment of the United Nations Economic and Social Council ECOSOC meeting was notable for outlining the emerging contours behind India's call for reformed multilateralism. Recalling that the United Nations emerged from the furies of the Second World War, the Prime Minister urged member states to use the current existential crisis posed by the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure the rebirth and reform of multilateralism. Mr. Modi's address highlighted the key role of Sustainable Developmental Goals (SDGs) in this context. The success of India, representing 1/6 of humanity in achieving her development objectives, would contribute significantly to the global achievement of the SDGs. This would require working together in the spirit of inclusive growth based on a whole of society people-centric paradigm which met the core SDG principles of leaving no one behind. The Indian Prime Minister highlighted how India's effective use of multi-stakeholder ground-based approach engaging her state and local government, civil society, communities and people to meet her national development goals had given impressive results. These included full sanitization coverage of India's 6 lakh villages, coverage of 500 million individuals in Ayushman Bharat, the world's largest health protection program, and the ongoing construction of 40 million new homes to ensure housing for all by 2022. 3 major sustainable development initiatives taken by India in recent years resonated in the Prime Minister's address. There were gender equality, the use of technology for development, and climate action. India's achievement in gender parity in elementary and secondary education had enhanced the empowerment of women. Nearly 70 million rural women were earning their livelihood through self-help groups, SHGs, while over 1 million women had been elected to local governments to lead the process of participatory development. India's innovative use of technology for financial inclusion combined the opening of about 400 million new bank accounts, including 220 million women with a unique identity number Aadhaar and a mobile connection. This has enabled direct benefit transfers of $150 billion to over 700 million persons, while ensuring 813 million citizens got the benefit of the world's largest food security program. The electrification of India's villages and supply of clean cooking fuel to 80 million households has reduced carbon emissions by 38 million tons annually. India's ambitious target to install 450 gigawatt of renewable energy, restore 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030, and discourage the use of single-use plastic would enhance her ancient tradition of living in harmony with nature. The Prime Minister underscored the importance of international cooperation in achieving sustainable peace and prosperity through multilateralism. India would support other developing countries of the Global South to meet their SDG goals. India's initiatives for proposing and establishing an international solar alliance and international coalition for disaster resilience infrastructure, her assistance to over 150 countries, including in the SAARC region, to counter COVID-19, and her credentials as a white knight first responder to natural or man-made crisis illustrated India's specific contributions to meet this objective. In his address, Prime Minister Modi promised to use India's role as an elected member of the UN Security Council to fully support the United Nations agenda. Prime Minister Narendra Modi underlined that the challenges facing the international community required reformed multilateralism with a reformed United Nations at its center. The key to a reformed United Nations lies in reforming the UN Security Council to make it more effective and representative. SDG 16 specifically targets broadening and strengthening the participation of developing countries in institutions of global governance. Between the 75th anniversary of the United Nations this year and 2022, when India participates in the UN Security Council and chairs the G20, a unique window of opportunity exists to create what the Prime Minister called a new type of human-centric globalization. Leading this structural change will reflect how a self-reliant and resilient India, integrated with the global economy, can reform multilateralism to meet the aspirations of humanity. That was today's commentary. Prime Minister to UN Economic and Social Council, Reformed Multilateralism, Only Way Forward. It was scripted by Ambassador Ashok Kumar Mukherjee, former permanent representative of India to the United Nations, and read by Kaushik Rai.
This commentary came to you from the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.
Namaste. Greetings to the General Overseas Service of the EST, All India Radio. My name is Joanne Dicuna. I am a model, actor, musician, and French language tutor by profession. I've always been passionate about music, which inspired me to write songs and make music videos. I use my love for singing to spread awareness on issues like the summer heat, depression, our current pandemic, and whatnot. Besides that, I give French language tuitions for students of all age groups, and it gives me an amazing sense of fulfillment and purpose, which I am grateful for. If you or your children are looking for something fun and interesting to do during the lockdown period, then I would highly recommend that you try your hand at writing a song, be it a parody or a complete original. Maybe even learn a new instrument. It's pretty simple to write a parody song. Just choose a theme to write on. Improvise or pick out a fun, catchy tune of a song that you really like, and rewrite the song lyrics based on the theme that you selected. Or you could even try learning a new language. Thank you for listening to All India Radio, and here is a snippet of one of my COVID-19 themed parody songs. Hope you enjoy it and stay safe. Bye-bye. I woke up nice and late, I don't care, 'cause we're in lockdown. And I'm glued to my phone, it's a zone I can't keep away from. And I feel down, beaten, bored, and I sorely miss the outdoors. And going out for a drive, straight to the back of beyond. Because I'm locked in quarantine, a quarantine in the morning. Locked in quarantine, and I long for more sunshine. Securely locked in quarantine, I can't get out in the evening. Locked in quarantine till we're done with COVID-19.
This broadcast came to you from the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.